Hello, I am Dr. J. Hitson, and today we are going to have an important conversation about aging. I spent many years running a sizable regenerative medicine practice that was integrated. So basically what that means is we had specialists from all different fields all working together to help people restore lost and damaged tissues. So like for instance, if you had a knee that you wanted to get worked on but you didn't necessarily want a knee replacement, regenerative medicine offers some amazing options. And so we got to work with a lot of people, and let me just say they're not necessarily the most youthful bunch. Regenerative medicine is usually for people who, are getting into those years where they've had, joint pain, joint issues. They have some wear and tear. They have kicked the tires enough, and now they're running into some issues that are beyond stretches and exercises. So we got to work with a lot of individuals. Definitely, 60 and over, and, who, in general, when you're in regenerative medicine, you're working with a population who is on the healthier half of individuals, just because, again, the nature of the kind of work we do, typically attracted people who, again, were a little bit, on the healthier half of the spectrum. And because of the kind of work we did, we didn't just like come in and you got an injection and you're on your way. We found that over time, that if we worked with the individual to not just use the regenerative products, most of you know that as stem cell. When we used those products, not just as an injection, but then also did the therapy, balanced out what caused it to wear and tear in the first place, addressed the nutritional components, just overall got the person stronger, not just a quick in and out procedure. We got a lot better results, and in fact almost everybody got better to one degree or another, and it was just really incredible work working with an incredible team. But in that process, we got to really spend some time with people, because it takes a minute to balance out decades of muscle spasms and pulls and dealing with some of these old injuries. So you got to spend and to really invest in a lot of our patients' lives. So you got to get to know them. And in the process, while I love the science behind what's happening and what's going on in regenerative medicine, what really I enjoyed so much was the people and their stories. And I loved watching how some people were just aging incredibly well. I mean, they're doing it right. They're loving life. They're doing the things that they need to do to take care of themselves. They have these incredible support systems around them. A lot of times people would bring their family and friends and whatnot along for visits, either to meet us or just because they were in passing and, just on the way to lunch, and let's just stop at this quick appointment and be on the way. So we got to meet so many of, their support system and their family, and we got to just really hear about their lives. And so it was very, very inspiring when you get to meet these individuals who are in their 60s, their 70s, their 80s, even 90s, who are just staying so vibrant and so significant. I mean, and leading just incredible lives. And then there were a lot of people who weren't doing it right. There are a lot of individuals, and unfortunately it wasn't even a close ratio. There's a lot more people who just aren't aging well. And it was really kind of sad to see what was happening for a lot of these individuals, because health is an issue, and they were there because there were different health issues, and we're working through some of those health concerns, but it was just more than that. And so I became really very, very interested and fascinated by what made the difference, because you figure out really quickly Aging well, it doesn't happen by accident. These people who were doing it right, they were making choices, and they've been making choices not just for the last couple weeks or couple months, but they've been making choices for years that put them in this position where they, were so incredibly alive. They were just such a joy. I remember there's certain individuals who, when they were in the office, like you couldn't keep the staff away from them. Everybody just wanted to be around them, and and in just the healthiest way you can even describe it. So as just as we went through the years, and luckily I got the opportunity. I met with every single individual, because I was always doing a lot of the intakes and the exits, and getting to see the before and after, the bookend of their experience. Just my understanding and my learning, and just asking questions as to how did you get here? What decisions did you make? What are these things that led to this amazing life? Or sometimes just trying to gently find out how did you not end up, how did you miss the mark? So one of the things that I want to engage in just a series, it needs to be a conversation. This needs to be a conversation. Where there is a lack of vision, the people shall perish. When I was watching these families and these friends, and it was parents and siblings and friends and whatnot. See, here's the thing is, as we age, if you kind of look to your right and to your left, chances are either those individuals are going to be taking care of you, or you're going to be taking care of them. And I know which side most of us would like to be on that, in that equation. I mean, but even more important, what if how can we make it so that we're not having to take care of anybody but ourselves? What if we are in our collectives, in our families, in our siblings, and in our friends? What if we all are making the choices that lead to aging well, so that we're all doing it right, and we're able to enjoy our time, as opposed to necessarily having to caretaker for each other. And I think this is an important conversation, because again, some of us we're looking at being in that caretaker role. I'm in that sandwich generation right now, where the aging parents, and then the children who are coming into young adulthood, and you're kind of nurturing both groups, and you're kind of sandwiched in the middle. And I'm really speaking to those who are in my sandwich generation with me, as we're kind of looking at our lives, and where do we want our aging process to go. These are the conversations that we need to start having now, as to what am I doing so that last chapter of my life is the most glorious yet? What are the decisions that I'm making now that will put me in the best position in those years to come? Because the foundation, I mean, health really is kind of the foundation. I mean, obviously that's the biggest discussion amongst those who are in those later years, is how to maintain and preserve health. It's the things that you do in your 30s, 40s, and 50s really do dictate how your 60s, 70s, and 80s and beyond go. So the first question, the first part of discussion here from our time here is, what do you want that last chapter to look like? have you thought about it? Have you given it serious consideration? Who do you know who's doing it well? Who's your role model? Do you have a role model? Where are you looking for inspiration as to what you would like your last chapter to look like? And and if you're already in that season, how's it going? How's it working for you? If you're in that season, are you happy with the choices you've made? Is there things that you would do differently? Even more important to the conversation, those around you, especially those who are younger, what wisdom can you glean towards them to things that you feel like you've done right, and things that I would do this differently, and starting to share this conversation. Because what if we changed that paradigm of what aging really is? Because I just don't believe that we are designed to get old and get decrepit. I just don't believe that to be true, because I've seen too many evidence to the contrary. I've seen too many other people who don't have the right genetic markers, who really shouldn't be. They weren't born under the lucky star of genetics that just give them naturally everything they want with regards to their health. I've seen a lot of people who, no, it's been a choice. They've made good decisions that have led them to these wonderful conclusions and these wonderful destinations in their aging and in their health. So what is your vision? What do you see? And furthermore, those to your right and to your left, what is their vision? Because I know it's been a little difficult for some of us to. We're not necessarily, we may be taking care, and chances are if you're listening to this far, you probably are somebody who really does care. You're probably somebody who has put a lot of time and investment and thought into aging well. And maybe now you're watching because one of those people said, hey, I want this for you as well. And this may be just an opportunity to open up and to start some of that dialogue of what it can be. And we're going to get more into some great stories of who's doing it well and inspiration and all of that, because that's just what inspires me. So we will be having that. My role in the regenerative medicine was pretty straightforward. I was the person who analyzed blood work to see what conditions were emerging or what disease processes need to be reversed, because we knew that the way to stay healthy, the way to be healthy, is to reduce and eliminate the need for medication. It's not simply to not take medication, that's not good. You really need to reduce the reason why you would ever need it. You need to eliminate that, and that's the work that I do. Using the medical diagnostics to understand how to use food and natural things to be healthier. And if you want to know more about that, you can visit our website. That is the work I do, and I am just thrilled that I have I'm in this wonderful community of people and that I work with who this is how they want to age. This is what they want, and and I'm working with them to make sure that that happens not only for myself, because that's a major objective for me, my own personal journey, but so many people who want to come along this journey with me. So you can visit us, our website over there if you want to know more, because health does have to be the cornerstone. And then we'll put all of these other important building blocks on top of that. But for those of you who are just ready to start the conversation, you can even start it right there in the comments. What is your vision? What do you see? If you're already there, how's it going? And what are some of the lessons that you've learned along the way that you think are important for other people to understand and to know. And let's just start to change how we think about aging and what it means to get old.